Yeah, we normally like we're professional-esque. If that's the word I can think of, because it's like we're professional because we're adults, but at the same time, like we still niggas from Houston, but don't misconstrue that with being unprofessional. Like you have to have the yin with the yang. That's the only way that you balance that shit out.
I mean, and that's with everything. You can apply that to any aspect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you guys have to do something to separate yourself from everyone else too.
We got Antililly on the mic, man.
Oh yeah, it's your boy Antililly. How y'all doing?
They probably like, who is Antililly?
If you don't know, you know what I'm talking about, you will know very soon, you understand?
Probably in the next hour and a half, you'll be like, damn, I know everything about him.
Absolutely.
And that's great, because that's what we want. Anytime we have an artist on Houston's POV Podcast, we try to show the humanity, from them. Not just,
not just the flavor and the swag that most people are attracted to on the average social media venue, you know what I mean, near you, you know what I mean, but just really getting to know the man behind the name or the man behind the persona or act. And the cool thing about rap nowadays is more people are growing more and more comfortable being themselves. Therefore, you know what I mean, like I think he's really personifying himself, you know what I mean. The man said, man, just call me Dre, you know what I'm talking about. So
what do you think? Do you think you being a famous rapper from Houston that you have to give off a vibe that you're somebody that you're not?
I don't really know, man. I know that artists have done that before. I can only speak for myself though. Yeah. At the end of the day, I have to be comfortable. I gotta be able to look in the mirror and shit, and accept that. So honestly, the way I even started rapping and shit was just expression. I don't, even to this day, I don't have nobody I confide into. You know what I'm saying? And it makes me feel terrible, but I don't really call my mom and shit, as much as I should. Like, I've been with my girl like 4 years, and it's a lot of shit. Still, like, it's just something that's natural. I've always just been more like isolated.
And we get that. We get that from the music too, man. Like, it seems like it's kind of written within the lyrics, of how you are basically a loner. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I could relate to that on so many levels. But just in regards to how you reflect, it seems like the music, like a lot of people say, man, the music is just my vice. It's how I relieve stress. But like, if you really listen to your lyrics, it's like, no, you're saying shit that somebody would probably only say to their best friend
or their therapist,
or somebody they're paying. You know what I'm saying, to keep that shit confidential.
And that isn't a knock. That's not a knock at all.
Absolutely.
I don't take it that way.
Yeah,
that's courageous.
I don't take it that way.
Yeah, it's very courageous. And personally, just being a fan of music, I want to be able to get something other than a cool beat from the music. You know what I'm saying?
That's not really talk about the beats.
The beats are fucking fun.
Shout out my man Phoniks, man.
Shout out to Phoniks.
Yeah.
Put Portland, Maine on the map, man.
Portland, Maine. Man, that's one of the places would you say Portland? Like, I literally, like, I'm no lie, bro. I just found out, like, yesterday that there's 2 Portlands.
Yeah, it's the Portland, Maine and the Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
Hey, they got the seafood out there.
Yeah.
Hey, get you some clams, motherfucking lobsters, crabs. So ain't no red lobster shit, man. They got the top of the line, man.
You went out there to record the project?
No, man. We actually linked up, if I can get to that, like 4 years ago. Like, I dropped a tape called Memoirs in the 90s, and then him and my homie A1, they dropped their own little thing, and I want to say it was The Source. They did like this weekly thing, like, hottest up and coming projects, and they do like each region. So they had the East, I had the South, obviously. And,
dope.
Does The Source still have a magazine?
No, it was. I'm not sure, but it was online though. So they tagged us on Twitter and whatever. Yeah. So we was able to kind of vibe off each other. He reached out to me, and it was just 1-2 beats and then shit. Yeah. It was organic.
The internet is powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Crazy.
Connecting the South to the far northeast. I mean, do you
about
know how
as
much?
east as you could
Do
get.
you know how much the plane tickets to Portland, Maine are? I actually looked like a couple months ago. It's just ironic that we talking about Phoniks being from Maine, but I looked because we were planning to take a trip up there. And I was like, man, let me check this shit out because I saw the reviews for travel destinations, you know, up north, and this was one of the places. Plane tickets up there from Houston were at least over $900. I was like, what? Why?
I was trying to figure out which Portland was the dopest, like which one I should actually visit. I know one of them has legal marijuana, which is, you know, something I was
It's something that you would partake.
Yeah, I'm trying to, you know, like Texas is moving too fucking slow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
they ain't gonna do that shit, like,
shit.
Get the CBDs now.
Yeah. And not only that, but they do have, on the way to San Antonio, I think it's Schulenburg.
Yeah.
They have the first actual like dispensary, but it's only for like epileptic patients. Like you really have to be not to be funny, but you gotta be fucked off to get a prescription for that shit. You know what I mean?
But it does help. I mean, do you feel like marijuana is a big part of being a creative? Because just personally, you know, for instance, like I smoke marijuana.
Okay.
I try not to smoke as much because I do notice a difference when I don't smoke. You know, in regards to just how I'm able to retain information, drive safely, you know, like normal day-to-day functions. But when I do smoke, I do find myself very, very much in tune with the creative side of myself. You know, like I'm able to write better, I'm able to listen to music better. So just from a rapper's perspective, how important is marijuana to the creative process?
It's not as important to me as, you know, most people would think. I could create with it, I could create without it. I really just, you know, use it as, you know.
Recreation.
Yeah, recreation.
Yeah, it's not a crutch to
it's
you.
not new.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I could go without smoking, but ironically, I smoke every day, so I don't know.
I'd rather. I don't mean it, but you know.
But I just happen to do it all the time.
I just want to put that out there.
Yeah. Nah, that's a great PSA. So,
fair enough.
Well, is there some rappers, you know, like, you know, Smoke Dizza, Currency, you know, less like smoke so heavily?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if you were to talk to them, they would say, yeah, you know, smoking is a part of my creative process.
I'm pretty sure they smoke so much that if they don't smoke, they don't feel normal. You know what I'm saying? I guess what we're saying is like, without weed, do you feel normal? And you're saying yes. Like,
yes.
I'm cool with it.
I'm cool without it. Like it's just more of like a creative process. Like, okay, I'm trying to think of, okay, so I listened to a couple of your projects high. I listened to Memoirs from the 90s high.
Yeah.
And I listened to It's Nice Outside not high.
Okay.
Honestly, I actually caught the vibe not high from It's Nice Outside.
It's Nice Outside, bro. Okay.
Classic ass
If I can
project.
just dive into the music. Okay, not to really like fucking overdo it, but it's really nice outside today. Like it's like 63 degrees outside, and just listening to that project, it paints a whole different vibe of Houston. If you like one of those dudes that rock, I mean anybody. Okay, let's get it understood. Anybody in Texas rides and listens to music because you can't get anywhere without a fucking car. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to drive in Houston.
Yeah.
But just listening to that, to this particular project, it paints a completely different vibe of Houston that I really want to stay. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, you know, like some records you can listen to at night. I can name a bunch of tracks.
Well, okay, because we talked about this off air, but No Games.
No Games is hard.
No Games is hard as hell, man. It's hard as hell, and we talked about a potential video. We need to do this because
I found me as hard.
I was driving.
Real shit is hard.
I was driving to Houston from San Antonio this morning. I got up at 5 in the morning, so you know the sun comes up around 7:15, 7:30. So as the sun was coming up, No Games came on.
Nigga, we just turned into weather forecasters, nigga.
Hey man, we multi.
The sunrise will be at 7:15.
We multifaceted. No, don't quote me on that time because it may fluctuate from day to day. But the sun was coming up as No Games come on, and I instantly pictured. You know, I've been having the car since I was in high school, so I drove around Houston at an early age. I mean, I hit all the spots. Northside, Fifth Ward, Student Mont. I was going to all the parties from wherever it was. If it was a party going on the North Side, I was going to probably be at that bitch. So when it came on, I instantly thought about fucking driving to these parties at midnight, you know, and leaving at like 2 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and driving back home to the south side. There's nobody on the streets, but I would have the music playing. And I was like, man, this shit has such a 2002, 2003 kind of vibe, you know, like with the instrumental playing and the horns and shit. Like it's so cinematic, you know, like, and then the lyrics behind it. You know, where you're pinpointing the different sides of Houston.
Yeah.
Student mind, north side niggas don't play no game, south side niggas. You know, like that's fucking genius. Because if you're not from Houston and you listen to that song, you can vividly depict what it's like to drive in Houston and go to these different sides of town and see these different characters.
Instead of just seeing the city, you actually,
But I like the particular picture that it paints,
Yeah.
as opposed to the I'm coming down. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like the swing,
The same old, yeah.
tink bang, 484s, that type of shit. Not saying that you don't do or can't do that shit. It's just, it's nice to see the city or imagine the city on a different wave. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm more like this. Face have a lot to do with, how my flow, how my sound is developed.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite rappers ever.
That's crazy as fuck. My mom just ran in. My mom and my stepdad. My stepdad is Willie D cousin.
Okay.
And like he used to like go on the road with the Ghetto Boys
Right.
and shit. And he was telling me they just ran into Scarface at this cigar shop on South Main yesterday. And I was like, damn, we need to interview like a motherfucker.
Shout out
What's
to
up?
Face Mob.
Yeah, shout out Face Mob.
Shout out to Brad Jordan,
man.
Yeah.
I saw that boy live on that guitar, man. We're gonna have to get him in here, get him play some tunes for us.
But yeah, I mean, he would be able to do the same thing though.
Yeah.
You understand? He didn't have that, and I'm a fan of that flow. That coming down, man. Shit, I'm from the city.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that, but
It's nostalgic.
Face was also able to do it in a way where it wasn't necessary, but you still had understanding of his situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Understanding where he was coming from, his surrounding, his environment, all of that shit.
That's a great point, because I didn't even think about it like that when I listen to your music. You're talking about, I'm down to, my last dollar. I'm trying to just make it home. Times will get better. I'm just trying to ride it through, without losing my mind. It's vulnerable to an extent, because most